you want to improve your life, if you want to get better, that is entirely possible for you. You can increase the quality of your life. How to improve your life. Hi guys, my name is Christine Loveridge and I'm a dating, relationship and personal development coach. And today I'm talking about how to improve your life. So I have a few slides that I'm going to go through with you today, and it's all based on how to improve your life. Now, in order to have advancement in life, in order to increase the quality of your life, you must improve it in certain ways. Now, I have had comments in the past where people have said to me, look, I'm just not interested in improving myself and getting better. And I don't think that's true. I think most people do want to improve themselves. So, for example, if your boss came to you and said, look, I want to increase your salary, but you've got to go on this training program and it'll take like about a couple of hours, and once you've done the training program, you can have that raise in salary. And most people would say yes to that. I think most people would go for the extra higher salary and going on that training program. So obviously you do want to improve your life. You do want to have more money, probably want to have a better body, you probably want to have more success in your love life and to have better quality relationships. So don't fool yourself into thinking that you don't want to improve yourself, because if improvement came, you would obviously welcome it with open arms. So let's see how we can actually actively do this for ourselves and try to get a little bit better. So you will need some pen and paper to write some things down. You can go along with the video and pause it anytime you want to write these things down, or you can watch this whole video the whole way through and then write down what you need to write down, or come back to it. So let's get straight into it. So the core points in this video: number 1, identifying the areas you need to improve. 2, what are the correct steps to improve your life. Number 3, how to measure your improvement. And number 4, some practical exercises and helpful resources. So let's get straight into the first one, which is identifying the areas you need to improve. And I have a quote here by Zig Ziglar: "You can't hit a target you cannot see, and you cannot see a target you do not have." So this basically means you got to know what you want. Because if you don't know what you want, it's very unlikely that you'll get it. You need to be very clear on what it is that you need to improve. And once you know what it is that you want, it's going to be much easier for you to get there. So let's have a look at some of the areas you might need to improve. So you might want to improve your finances, you might want to improve your body, you might want to improve your overall enjoyment of life, you might want to improve your relationships, or you might want to improve your effort in your career. So you might need to improve all of these things, or perhaps there's only a few things here that you want to improve or need to improve, or perhaps there's something entirely different that I haven't listed that you want to improve. But the point of this slide is just to let you know that you need to identify the areas you need to improve, because you can't hit a target you can't see. So let's get into the next slide, which is what are the correct steps to improve your life. So the quote that I have here is from Benjamin Franklin, and it goes, "Without continual growth and progress, such words as improvement, achievement and success have no meaning." So in order to get improvement in any area of your life, you need to be taking the correct action. You need to be taking the correct steps. So one of the examples I like to use whenever I'm talking about self-improvement, and that is like weight loss or just having a better body. So in order to have a better body, there are things that you need to do that are obviously correct. And there's obviously things that you can do that will sabotage your success. So if you're trying to lose weight, obviously things like overeating is going to tarnish your results, and that's not the correct step to take. So if you are trying to lose weight, what you need to be doing is figuring out what it is that you're eating and then finding a way to make a calorie deficit. so you can lose weight. And you may also want to, improve your body with exercise as well. So let's say you might not be planning on losing weight, but you might be planning on getting fitter because you just feel like you're not fit. So let's say you was running for the bus one day and you found yourself really out of breath. And you realize you're very unfit. So obviously there's something else that you need to do. So something like that would probably be working on your cardiovascular health. If you want to improve your health and your fitness, then you probably need to exercise. And if you want to lose weight, you obviously need to be in a calorie deficit. And those are the correct steps in order for you to have that. So you need to identify the things that are going to get you the results that you want. What are the actions you need to do to get the results that you want? So let's say you have been trying to get a better body. The questions that I have here is ask yourself these questions. So how can I do this better? So if you haven't been losing weight in the past, then obviously you need to find a way to do it better. So how can you do this? Well, one of the ways you can do it is by finding a role model. So someone who was at the weight that you're at now, lost the weight and managed to keep it off. Find people that have done the things that you want to do and ask them questions about it. Or if they've got like a YouTube video or a blog, you can read what it is that they did. And you'll know to start taking those same kinds of steps. Because if you take those kinds of steps, you will most likely get those results as well. Another question you might want to ask yourself is how can I make this more fun and enjoyable? So again, I'm going to be very generalized here and talk about weight loss. So let's say you've been trying to do this for a while, and every so often you go for a run or something. But when you're on that run, you really, really dislike it and you don't like doing it. So if you don't like doing that method, then find a new method that you will enjoy. One of the ways that I personally like to exercise is through doing something like kickboxing or boxing, or I like doing cardio videos on YouTube, but I don't really like going out running. So I'm not going to do that. Then perhaps try to lose weight by doing a different kind of exercise. And that might make all the difference. Find a way that you will enjoy it. So this goes for everything as well, not just exercise. Do it in the way that you will get the most enjoyment out of it. So let's say you are studying right now and you have an exam coming up and you really hate just sitting there with a bunch of books and just reading them. Perhaps you might want to play music while you're doing it. Perhaps you want to study while you're in the bath. Perhaps you want to study while you're out in the garden in the sunshine. Or perhaps you really like the atmosphere of a library, so you go to a library. Or perhaps you'd rather do it in a cafe. How can you make the task that you need to do more enjoyable for yourself? And by doing so, and you may need to experiment. You may need to find different ways to find out if this is what you prefer. So be open to experimenting with different methods to find the one that you find the most enjoyable. So obviously you want to find the steps that are effective. So that goes into how can I do this better? So what's the most effective way for you to do this? And secondly, what is the most enjoyable way for me to do this? Or how can I make it more fun for myself? So the next slide is how to measure your improvement. And the quote I have here is from James Clear, and it says, "You should be far more concerned with your current trajectory than with your current results." So basically what this means is that your current results don't really mean that much, okay? What really matters is, are you on the correct path? Are you doing the things every day that's necessary to improve your life? So, let's take the example of weight loss again, because I think it's a really great example because it can be very visual as well. And so if you haven't lost much weight, let's say you started a diet like 2 weeks ago and you haven't seen results yet, that doesn't matter because you are still on the correct path. If you are doing everything right, like a calorie deficit, and you're exercising enough, you're eating right, you're getting enough sleep, if you're doing all the correct things, don't expect immediate results. You have to wait a little while for your body to change and to adjust. Some things happen much slower over time, but as long as you keep it up and you keep on doing the habits that are important for you to get the results, you will eventually get the results. It just requires a little bit of patience. If you just keep on doing the right things every day, you will get better. So how can you measure it? Because it's so important for you to measure your progress, to measure where you were last month as to where you are now, or to measure yourself on how you were doing last week and how you were doing this week. So some of the ways that you can do this is through journaling. You can do it through pictures. So especially if you're trying to change your body in some way, obviously pictures are a great way for you to be able to see your improvement, because especially if you are trying to change your body, because if you're trying to change your body, then you might not be able to see those improvements yourself, which is why it's important for you to take pictures of yourself. So another way you can do that is with calendars, reviewing. So basically, if you are taking pictures of yourself, or if you're journaling, or if you're using calendars to measure what you've done and if you've successfully hit the targets of those days over the months and years, if you can go back, you'll be able to see your improvement and you can review. So for example, one of the things that I personally do is I have a journal and I write down all of the things that I do each day on my to-do list, and sometimes I don't get everything done on my to-do list. But what I do is the next week I look back on all of the things that I did last week and I try to do it better, or I try to do more, depending on which kind of task it is. So by going back and reviewing what you did last week and last month, you can then know what you need to do to improve, if you need to do more of something, if you need to find a better way of doing it. So it's really good if you can review what you have done, which is why it's important to write these things down. You don't have to write down every single little thing. You could be just like, okay, I did 10 sets of this kind of exercise. Next week I'm going to do 11. You know, it's that kind of thing. It's being able to measure that kind of progress and reviewing it, so you know if you need to do better, if you need to do more, or if you need to do something different entirely. So that goes into the last point here, which is doing more or doing better. So once you've reviewed your previous week, you can say, okay, do I need to do more of something, or do I need to do better at something? And what will happen over the months is that over the weeks and months, you'll be able to look back on where you were when you first started, and you'll be able to see how much you have actually grown. So the last slide is some practical exercises for you to do and some resources. So the first thing that I would like you to do is to write down the areas you wish to improve. So this could be your finances, it could be your body, it could be just your general well-being. Only you know what you need to improve. Only you know what you want to advance in. So get very clear on what that is. So the next thing you need to write down is, what actions do I need to take? So for example, if you want to improve your finances, perhaps you need to start a side hustle. Or it could be something else. Perhaps you need to do your job more effectively. With your body, do you need to be in a calorie deficit to lose weight, or do you need to be in a surplus to gain weight? Do you need to exercise? When it comes to your well-being, do you want to read more? Do you want to see more of your friends? Or do you need to take therapy? The next thing to write down is, how am I going to measure my improvement? So do you want to keep records of your money and what you've earned and what you've spent? How much do you want to measure your exercise? Like how many, do you want to measure your body by like how much you weigh, or how many reps you've done, or how long you've exercised for? You can write those things down. Or you could write down your mood. So something you could just put on a calendar is like a happy face, or like a kind of like a medium, kind of neutral face, or a sad face if you're feeling sad. That's a way that you can measure it. So you can look back and see if you have been having more happier days recently, or if you're still feeling pretty low, and then you can adjust. So some books that I think are really good on this topic are 12 Rules for Life by Jordan B. Peterson and Atomic Habits by James Clear. So go and check out those books. A link for them will be in the description of this video if you are interested in progressing even further with your improvement. So just some lasting thoughts about improving yourself and getting better. If you want to improve your life, if you want to get better, that is entirely possible for you. You can increase the quality of your life. You only need to find out what the correct actions are, measure your progress, and to get yourself on the path for that. Anyway guys, I hope this video has helped you. If you found this video useful, then please like, please subscribe. If you would like to get in touch with me personally and you would like coaching, then please go to www.christineloveridge.com/shop to get coaching with me. The link is in the description, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye guys.